Hello, Internet. Welcome to Only Kind of Everything. And as the title suggests, we are going to be predicting the outcome of the WWE Royal Rumble. Now, I am going to caveat this by saying I am filming this Friday morning, so before SmackDown, and obviously before the Royal Rumble itself. It'd make no sense to film this after, because then I could just be like, oh, I got all my predictions right. So, with that really dumb introduction out of the way, let's get into it. The first match we are going to predict here is the Women's Royal Rumble. Now, I think there's going to be some really cool surprises. I do think we're going to see the likes of Jordynne Grace, obviously Charlotte Flair, maybe even AJ Lee. That would be really cool. Nikki Bella is rumored to be there, but who is going to win? I've been thinking about this back and forth for a while now, and I really think if you want to talk about strapping the rocket to somebody, sending them to the moon, I know there's the obvious, not obvious, but the idea that Becky Lynch will return and get that win. Charlotte Flair will potentially get that win, but I actually really think that, WWE could just strap the rocket to the back of Jordynne Grace and send her straight to the moon. It's fitting of somebody of her skill level, so I'm not against the idea of Jordynne Grace being the winner. And if you want to really strap the rocket to her, you could even go as far as have her out as like number 3 or 4, so she goes the bulk of the Rumble. Now, the next match we're going to talk about is the 2 out of 3 falls match between the Motor City Machine Guns challenging DIY. I'll be honest, going into this feud, I was really skeptical that Triple H could pull off Ciampa and Gargano as heels. Not that neither one are capable of doing it. But I just felt that they were both kind of directionless, and getting some heat on them was going to be a challenge. I'll be wrong on this one. Those two have gotten over as heels. The real question comes in, what's the better story right now? Does Ciampa and Gargano retaining fit a better narrative? Or does the Machine Guns getting those titles back and kind of being the staple tag team, is that the better story? And I think that's kind of, honestly, I would say one thing, this is potential to be match of the night. I mean, these two teams are going to go. That being said, I kind of feel like the better story is Gargano versus Ciampa, especially, we're starting to cook WrestleMania. But I almost think that that's going to be maybe a SummerSlam type of match, just because I think the friend versus friend match, if you will, is going to be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. And I just don't think that we're going to do 2 of that kind of story going into Mania. I might be wrong, but I'm saying that Gargano and Ciampa, DIY, retain. I will go 1-1, and then DIY will get the overall victory. Probably some shenanigans, at least with one, if not both, of their falls. Now, the next match, because I really think that the Royal Rumble men's will close out the show on Saturday. The ladder match between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. Big part of me really wants Kevin Owens to win this match, guys. He has had more Royal Rumble opportunities than I can think anybody else really having challenging for the WWE title at the Royal Rumble. I don't see WWE taking the title off of Cody Rhodes going into WrestleMania. I hope I'm wrong. I really do, because I would much, much prefer Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn with a world title on the line. But I just don't think that's going to happen, guys. Cody, I think, is going to retain. It does, to me, feel like we're kind of teasing the start of heel Cody Rhodes, potentially. I mean, we'll see where that goes. But that leads us to the men's Royal Rumble. And unless I'm wrong, that's all the matches that have been announced for this card. It's not a very match-heavy night, so that'll make it, that kind of makes this video a little bit easier. So kind of with the women's, I think we're going to have some surprises. I do think we're going to see Joe Hendry. It would be an absolute shame if we don't. I don't think we'll see Nemeth. Not that he definitely doesn't know how to work a Royal Rumble. Obviously, he's been in them for decades. I just feel like I would rather see like Moose or somebody to that effect. If we're talking, two TNA guys, I would say like Joe Hendry, the obvious answer, and then like, again, somebody that maybe the WWE audience isn't as familiar with, potentially. And Moose is one of their biggest stars. It would make sense to put him in that position. As far as guys who's going to win it, I mean, there's so many big names in this match. But a part of me really thinks that Roman Reigns is going to win this match. Not necessarily just because, Tribal Chief, Cody, makes sense to do it at Mania again. I don't think we're getting Roman Cody directly. I think that CM Punk favor is going to get cashed in, and it's going to be a triple threat. I might be wrong with that. We might have Rollins Punk number 2 that night, but I think Roman winning would be kind of maybe the safe bet, quote unquote. Obviously, I would love to see like a Sami Zayn win. Don't think that's happening. Drew McIntyre, don't think he's winning. He's too involved with the Roman Reigns stuff, and maybe Drew eliminates Roman, and then Roman eliminates him, and we get something completely different. And something else has been pointed out that's interesting to me to go along with that statement. Any year that Roman has been in the Rumble and not won, in the last, I think it's 5-7 years, but the individual who eliminates Roman Reigns tends to win the match. So that's something to keep in mind on. If Roman does not win, the guy who has eliminated him has gone on to win the Royal Rumble. So, that's another thing to keep your eye out on. And we're not even talking John Cena. I've kind of worked myself into a shoot. I could see Cena winning as well. Just because it's an easy track to get to the Royal Rumble for WrestleMania for John Cena. As it's come out, he was on the January debut episode on Netflix, and then just kind of disappeared. Well, it's because he's filming a movie. Despite all the reports that Cena had cleared his schedule for this year, Cena did not. Granted, he was connected to this movie back in 2024, but I digress. That sucks. Cena winning, the only problem with that is I really think the better story is if Cena loses, well, maybe the Elimination Chamber is my way to get into that match. I just don't want the entirety of Cena's last year to be chasing number 17. I would rather see Cena do a little 17, have some, great matches, because I think Cena's still capable of having some good ones. But I digress. I've got sidetracked. Final pick. Who do I think is going to win the men's Royal Rumble? I'd like to say Sami Zayn, but I do think it's going to be Roman Reigns. So guys, like I said, I don't want to take a whole lot of your time up with this one. There's not a lot to talk about going into this one. So I will look forward to the Royal Rumble. I'm going to try to have a reaction video out to it. No guarantees, because I'm not going to be able to watch it Saturday live. I'm going to be watching it Sunday afternoon. So hopefully timing works out and I can get that reaction video to the Royal Rumble out. But in the meantime, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think your picks are, if I'm right, or am I just big dumb? Otherwise, I will see all of you in the next video. Bye!